Hey guys, it's Noah. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited to be kicking off June with WWDC. For those of you that don't know what WWDC is, it's an event where Apple announces their new software updates. In this video, I will be covering iOS 16, watchOS, and macOS. All of the timestamps are down below. The reason why I decided not to talk about iPadOS is because it's basically macOS and iOS combined, and it would basically be repeating myself over again. And the only thing that is different in iPadOS is that Notes has a little bit of updates. Other than that, there isn't much more that is new to iPadOS. Let's dive in with iOS 16. First off, we have lock screen. In iOS 16, we have new custom lock screens with customizable fonts and colors. This is awesome because not only do Apple users get a new fresh wallpaper, but it also brings individuality and uniqueness to the lock screens, which are absolutely amazing. Next, we have widgets to lock screen. You are now able to add widgets to your lock screen like weather, battery levels, activity ring, progress, etc. It's really cool because it adds a really sleek design to the lock screen as well. Next, we have a new wallpaper gallery. Instead of just having one wallpaper, you have multiple using the wallpaper gallery. It kind of reminds me of the Apple Watch faces because in the Apple Watch face, you're able to not just have one, but you're allowed to like swipe through to get multiple, which I think is a cool and that they brought from Apple, which they brought from the watch to the iPhone, which is cool. Next, we have live activities. Live activities makes it easier for you to stay on top of things that are happening in the moment. For example, checking the score of a game. Now moving on to Focus. Focus now extends to lock screen. You can now change your lock screen depending on what focus you want. For example, work focus. You can set widgets showing upcoming meetings and to-do lists, so you can stay on task and not get distracted by unwanted notifications. You can also switch between work and personal focus by one simple swipe. Focus filters helps you set boundaries in Apple apps like Safari. Instead of seeing all of your websites open, Focus filters allows you to only see which ones relate to the focus that you're in, which is really cool because it also limits distractions as well. Next, we have messages. Have you ever sent someone a text that wasn't for them, or maybe said something that you didn't mean to say? Now you can edit sent text messages and undo messages for the both of you. I haven't heard about any software where you can edit sent messages, so that's really cool as well. And also undo messages, instead of having to delete it just for you, it deletes for everyone, just like WhatsApp. Next, we have new updates to Wallet. We have share keys. Now you can share your hotel keys with your friends on 3 messaging apps: Messages, Mail, and WhatsApp. Apple is working with the IETF to make sharing keys accessible to everyone. And not just hotel keys, you can also share your house keys, which are digital keys that you can get with certain smart home accessories, which are also cool. And you can also share your office keys with other people as well. Now we have Maps. Maps has a new update called multi-stop routing. You can now plan 15 stops in advance. Maps will also store previous routes in recent, so you don't have to keep searching for the places that you've been. Everything will be stored in previous routes. Then we have Transit. Maps is making it easier for transit riders by seeing fares for how much your trip will cost, and with ability to add transit cards to Wallet. And if your transit card balance ends up running out, you will receive an alert, so you can reload it without having to leave Maps. Apple is making it a lot more easier for their users, so you don't have to keep going in and out of apps. Everything is just going to be there for that app that you need and making it a lot more easier. Moving on to sports. So if you're a sports fan, I would listen up, or if you like sports and watch sports, then this is for you. Remember when you asked Siri about your sports game score and it used to look like this? Now it looks like this. You are able to see not only game scores, but live activity allows you to see real-time play-by-play action. It's really cool, so you get to actually see real-time game-to-game play, which is amazing. Next, we have family sharing. For families out there that have kids with Apple products, family sharing has a new update where you can create accounts just for them with parental controls to monitor their screen times or to approve purchases. Now Apple has made it easier to manage accounts for kids by choosing age-appropriate restrictions for apps, movies, books, and music, with other quick setups and other important parental controls. Setting up a brand new product for your child just got a lot easier. Turn on the device that you're looking to set up, bring your iPhone nearby, and select which of your children will be using that device. All the parental controls that you set up will be transferred to the new device. Remember, when you do that, do make sure you hit the quick setup because it's going to be a lot easier. Now, the next one, requests and messages. I obviously have not used this feature before, so I don't know exactly how you used to change them. But according to Apple, when your child did request extra screen time, you did have to go through the settings app to make that request. But now your child can request more screen time by sending the request straight in the Messages app. And you're also able to change the screen time in the Messages app as well. Moving on to photos. iCloud shared photo library. Have you ever had photos that another family member wants? Now with iCloud shared photo library, it eliminates that problem, but how? It's a separate iCloud library that everyone can provide to and combine. You can participate in one shared library that's shared with up to 5 other people. You easily select which photos you want to share and hit move to shared library. Or if you want photos automatically shared to the shared library, you can send the shots straight to shared library in the camera app as you capture the photo. Again, another example of Apple making everything a lot more easier for their users. Next, Safety Check. Safety Check is a fantastic feature if you're ever in an abusive situation. The new section in settings lets you quickly review and reset the access you have granted others. This lets people in an abusive situation quickly take away access to their data and location, enabling them to get to safety. And that was iOS 16. Moving on to watchOS 9. In watchOS 9, Apple has announced some new Apple faces, such as astronomy faces. The new astronomy face shows current cloud coverage around the world. Next is lunar calendar. Used to see traditional holidays and special events in many cultures. The lunar watch face supports Chinese, Islamic, and Hebrew calendars. Next, we have playtime faces. Playtime faces features dancing numbers. Once you lower your wrist, they no longer move. And the last one, Metropolitan face. Metropolitan face brings a new font which stretches when you move the crown. Again, another example of Apple making everything a lot more artistic and just a lot more fun. Next is fitness. The fitness app has 3 new running form metrics, which are torso movements, side length, and ground contact time. Another feature also in fitness is heart rate zone. So you can see which zone you are in and get a better understanding of your intensity level at any time during your workout. This is awesome, so you know exactly where you are in your heart range, and so you know either whether or not you're pushing too hard or you need to work a little harder. Next is custom workout. You can now set how long you want to run for and how long you want to stay in recovery, which you can repeat when you need. This is an amazing feature, so you know exactly when you need to take a rest and when you need to run again. Next, we're moving on to sleep. In sleep, Apple announced a new feature called Sleep Stages. You can now see how much you have spent in each stage and when you might have woken up. You will now see more details in the Health app where you will learn each sleep stage, REM, core, and deep. This is awesome because in the Health app, it's giving you a lot more in-depth detail of your sleeping, which is really amazing. Apple has also released a new app for your Apple Watch called Medications. Have you ever had to take medications and always have to keep a time frame in your mind when you have to take them, or wondering what you can't have when taking a certain medication? Well, with the new medication app, you can track medications, vitamins, and supplements. You can now log medications that you take occasionally, and you can now receive medication reminders on medications that you take regularly. And you don't need an Apple Watch to do so. You can track and manage your medications in the Health app. To start your medication list, simply search for them in the Health app. Or you can now use your phone camera to scan the name of your medications. You can create custom reminders on how many tablets you need to take and at what time. This is really cool. Only if I had this, when I was younger, because I was always sick. And to keep remembering what time to take medications was always a struggle. But now Apple is making it a lot more easier. And the last update to watchOS 9 is drug-to-drug interactions. Drug-to-drug interactions will help you know what other drugs you shouldn't take, for example, alcohol. With some of your medications, you will receive an alert in the Health app if there is a critical reaction, and you can also view critical, moderate, and severe interactions as well. And that was watchOS 9. Now, here is the MacBook Air. This new MacBook Air is half an inch thinner than the previous MacBook Air. There are also new finishes, which are Midnight, Space Gray, Silver, and Starlight. I'm so happy that Apple decided to make their chargers the exact same color as the MacBook because it's actually so much more aesthetically pleasing than having your MacBook one color and your charger the other color. The new MacBook Air is also a 13.6-inch liquid retina display and also has a 4-speaker sound system with spatial audio. Spatial audio is awesome if you're listening or watching movies in Dolby Atmos. And now for the macOS Ventura. Before we get into macOS Ventura, I am just like so sad because Apple has cut off my MacBook Air from receiving Ventura. The MacBook Airs that can receive this new update is 2018 and older, and mine's 2017. So you know when Apple doesn't include your computer in new updates, you know that it's probably time to upgrade because sooner or later your computer is going to start to break down because there aren't going to be any more updates to kind of keep it alive. Okay, now actually getting into macOS Ventura. In macOS Ventura, there is something new called Stage Manager. Stage Manager has to be turned on through the Control Center. What Stage Manager does, it automatically moves windows to the side and puts the ones you want in the center. If you want a different app, it will bring the app you just clicked to the center of your screen, replacing the one that you no longer wanted. Now, if you have an app that has multiple windows open, you have to click that same app and it will cycle through the one that you want. I kind of find that a little bit too complicated because what if you have a lot of tabs open in that one app, then you would have to keep cycling through them. So I don't think it's time efficient. It's more like time consuming. And you can still have overlapping windows and multiple apps open at the exact same time as well, which is also really cool. Now moving on to Mail. With the new Mail features, you can now undo an email that you sent as well as scheduling emails as well. Also, Mail has another feature called Follow Up. You can now follow up with an email if a person hasn't responded, exactly like Gmail. The only update to Safari was share tab groups. Basically, you can share a tab with your friends if you're working on going on vacation with each other or whatever the case is. That was the update to Safari. Next, Apple has created a generation password called Passkeys. Passkeys can't be phished or hacked. Passkeys uses biometrics and cryptographic techniques. To create a passkey, just use a Touch ID or Face ID to authenticate, and that's it. When you create a passkey, unique digital key is created that only works for the site that it was created for. Now, I definitely will be using this for my iPhone because this feature also works for iPad and iPhone as well as the Mac. So I'm really intrigued to see how this works because I've never really heard of passkey before or anything like it. Anyways, that was macOS Ventura. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure that you guys like and subscribe as well as hit that bell notification so you get notifications every time I post a brand new video. Also, please make sure that you're following all my other social media platforms for extra content and any updates from me. Continue to spread positivity and I will see you all in the next one.